Sorry for the delay. We're going to call to order at 6:07. And there was no actions taken in closed session. Attendance roll call. Clerk Epperson.
Here.
Trustee Lopez.
Here.
Trustee Reed.
Here.
Trustee Benito.
Here.
And student representative. All right. Will you all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, approve, adopt the agenda. We have we have some items to add. Item 2.0, we added 4 last-minute hires to the personnel register. An updated document has been distributed to the board, and copies can be found at the back of this room. This addition will be reflected in the minutes. So I'm looking for a motion to approve the agenda with these added names on the personnel register.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 9, district mission statement. We are a collaborative, culturally rich educational community where rigorous and innovative curriculum prepares our students to be successful contributors to our global society. Item 10.0. Now these are the fun ones. Recognition. The Board of Education recognizes students, employees, or members of the community who have received recognition for academic or athletic achievement, who have made significant contributions of any kind to the district. The following individuals will be recognized.
It is with great pleasure that we would like to recognize Julie Garcia as a dedicated parent and community leader whose children have attended Calistoga Elementary School and Calistoga Junior Senior High School. As the ELAC president, she has amplified the fundraising efforts of the ELAC's Valentine Dance that has supported tutoring at both schools, and she is involved in stakeholders meetings and school site councils. I would like to say also that this year, Julie Garcia was recognized by the California Office of Child Abuse Prevention as the Parent Leader of the Year, and she traveled 2 weeks ago, to Sacramento to receive that honor. So, Julie, thank you so much for all the work that you do in our school district. Our board appreciates that, the parents appreciate you very, very much. Muchas gracias.
Please.
Congratulations. All right. Student representative Forrest Minor for stepping up to mid-year to represent the Calistoga student body in monthly meetings and her dedication and activism towards the Calistoga Junior Senior High School. Congratulations on your short term, but we appreciate your help. You know what? moving on. 11.0 public comments. 11.1 public business from the floor and non-agendized items. This portion of the agenda allows an individual the opportunity to address the board on any item regarding board business that is not on the agenda. Without taking action or entering into a dialogue with the public, board members may briefly respond to statements made or ask clarifying questions about topics posed by the public. The matter may be referred to administration. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. And I have a card here from Nita Peterson.
Nita Peterson, music teacher, and I'm here to talk to you about, I've been asking for another music teacher to help me, and I've been told that both schools are not funding another music teacher, so I've asked the superintendent for permission to ask for donations to see if we could raise enough money for a full-time or part-time teacher to help me. His 11 groups is just too much for one person, so I thought I'd let you know before you hear from somebody else that I'm asking for. It's expensive to hire somebody, so for a large sum.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. And that was the only white card I saw. All right. Item 12.0, reports, correspondence, discussion items. 12.1, the LCAP survey presentation. Superintendent.
Well, the 2017-18 Local Control Accountability Plan survey was distributed to our students, staff, and our parents in February of 2018. Majority of the questions were asked to all 3 stakeholder groups at each school site. And then we also surveyed our ELAT groups and our PTOs and school site councils separately. So all 3 surveys first obtained surveyor demographics, and then roughly 10 to 15 questions related to academic programs, school climate, and parent involvement were asked of all of those groups. So in your packets and available to the public online as well are the results. Each survey was pretty similar. The high school, junior, senior high school had a lot more because we also included our Title IX survey within it. So the principals are here tonight, and as well, and you can ask them questions about the survey results and me as well. The 3 areas, I've given you an overview in the packet of what the findings were, and then the input from our stakeholders is going to be used to help determine our LCAP goals and actions. We actually already started on that with some of our recent recommendations for hire. So do you have questions of either of the principals regarding the results?
I noticed in the CES LCAP results, the 21% of CES staff either disagreed or strongly disagreed with the statement that CES is a safe place for students. And I wondered if you had any ideas what might be behind that, what they're referring to.
So in reviewing the raw data, which we had received about a month ago, when we're talking about staff, we're talking about not only our teachers, but also our paraeducators, so they were combined together. And included within the questions, there was a free response area, and so I did go back and relook at the free response area, and it was very difficult to coalesce it around one particular item. The answers tended to fall into a range of things depending on the interpretation of what safety was. And some things that impacted those responses was one that we did not have a playground for the first part of the year with the construction project, and also with the riverbank project. Also, there were comments to the effect of tables being moved around in the back. There were also comments related to the amount of counselors available. There was also comments about ideas on how to amplify our Building Effective Schools Together, our BEST plan. There was also comments regarding concerns about equipment getting fixed in a timely manner. And the reason why I'm kind of going into all these different angles is that this would be one of those things, and I did actually review this data with our stakeholder group, particularly our ELAC and also our school site council. And this would be one of those questions that you probably next year when you do the survey, you're going to want to either clarify the question that you're asking first or have some follow-up questions to elicit some more specifics about how safety was being
So what's
determined.
what's your definition of safe?
Exactly. The other thing that came up as well was that there was a multitude of requests regarding basically parent professional development, parent workshops. And so the actionable item that I did with that is actually in my newsletter collected data from parents about what kind of workshops would they like to see. So there was a couple of other areas within the survey where I think that if we have some follow-up questions, it would clarify a little bit better. Because as I said, it kind of went all over the place.
Thank you, that's reassuring.
So along the same lines, in clarifying what you mean by that, so there is a 46% of CES staff disagree that the professional development that is provided to them meet their needs. Are there any further questions to what those needs are and whether the district is providing enough professional development?
Yes, so that was another one of those questions where in the last 2 years, we have had textbook adoptions both in English language arts and mathematics, and as a result, the professional development has been very driven by learning how to use those textbooks, which doesn't create a whole lot of flexibility and surveying of staff as to what kind of needs that they have. Additionally, we also adopted a new student data management system, which took all of our professional development as well. We have reached out to staff, and staff would like some flexibility of being able to, on one of our PD days, kind of get a meet and get, like for example, learning how to use the Google platform better, or being able to use certain aspects of Elluminate better as opposed to the sit and get. And pretty much, I think it's just a factor of where we were at with adoptions and the need to get everyone on board with each of those things. Next year we're going to have a bit of a break because we're going to be looking at science adoption, but then the year after we are looking at PD again to support implementation of those materials.
My question is in regards East Calistoga Elementary promoting academic excellence for all students. The staff were at 23% disagrees and 5% strongly disagrees. And if I may continue, they're the educated ones in this equation. Mostly, some parents probably so. Most parents feel. And Calistoga Elementary has quality programs to address students' needs, talent, gifted, and special needs. We're at 14% that disagree. And so I would like to hear what do we do about that?
So in looking at that, I was not surprised by the discrepancies within those three stakeholder groups. And really what it comes down to is two areas that we had not been previously funding. One was a reading intervention teacher, which I think tonight you're going to see in your board packet that we are moving forward with that. The other okay, here it comes back. The other being that for gifted and talented education, there have really been fits and starts and different people providing classes and support for our gifted students, beginning with what they call the academy teacher who had been full-time. Then it was being provided by someone else who was on a special release to support technology. Then that position collapsed and it was at 2 hours a week, which we did run in EdJoin. And you can see not a lot of people applied for it. And so that is an area of need that was identified. So as I said, I wasn't too surprised by those results because I can see the personnel piece behind it.
So, Aaron, as a district, what can we do to help with these deficiencies in regards to that?
I think when you see our LCAP actions and goals that will address that, like Nicole just said, tonight is one example of that.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. 12.2 Food Services Report. Mr. Ed Burke, Director of Food Services.
Howdy, y'all.
Hello.
Lift this up. Be mobile. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yep.
I'll turn it back. Fantastic. All right, welcome back, y'all, to the 2018 Food Service Support Report. It has been a super busy year. We are so excited to tell you about what we've been doing, what we're going to do next, what we do to elevator service. So one of the most exciting things that happened this year is we were invited to become the newest cohort of California Thursdays. So California Thursdays is some of the most innovative and exciting school districts in the country. And we are buying products that are grown and raised, processed in California. We're highlighting them on 1 week per month on a Thursday. And what we get from this is we are going to be working with arguably the best nonprofit that I've ever had the pleasure of working with, the Center for Eco-Literacy. These are folks that have done award-winning program materials for school food services. These are folks that are connected. Hey, you have a question about how Open Unified does procurement? Here's the Open Unified director on a conference call. Go ahead. As a relatively small district, we don't get opportunities like this to network and connect with people who are doing really great things. So this gives us an opportunity to not only collaborate, but also to piggyback on a great idea. Or you have a contract with Mary's Chicken for organic stuff. Can we be part of that too? Fantastic. And not only that, but when we have a question, we have literally 100 people willing to answer us straight away within a dedicated website. So exciting. So our big push this year has been on menu development. Our focus has been to replace the things that we purchase, to increase savings, to increase participation. So these are things that we have successfully implemented. Number one, the crown jewel of our replacement and increase program is our hamburger buns. If you have the pleasure, they are worlds apart from the stuff we used to buy. We're making them in-house. We make them right before service. They taste amazing. Kids are generally very excited, and the benefits are incredible. We're making our own in-house granola. I can't just tell you how exciting that is. We're doing scones, muffins, hummus. We actually made our own nacho cheese sauce that tastes more cheesy than the stuff you can get at a snack bar. Yes. And has less sodium, less fat, less of the bad stuff, more cheese. It is incredible. I have some in the back and had it for dinner. I can't wait. So the benefits of these from scratch foods is we are saving a tremendous amount of money in procurement, and we are increasing participation simultaneously. So I take back, oops, I jumped ahead. Sorry guys. Can you go back 3 slides, please? Thank you. So for our hamburgers, we are saving 78% on food costs. We're not increasing labor costs. What does that mean? That means we're saving thousands of dollars a year, and participation jumped 22%. Kind of took us by surprise. We figured 10% cool, 22% nice. So that means that more students are eating with us, we're saving more money, we do a lot more things. Our granola, I don't know exactly what happened. The first day we offered granola, we hit an all-time record for yogurt parfaits. Yogurt parfaits was kind of the middle end of the menu option. People were like, I guess I'll leave it. We offered granola, we broke a record. And then the next time we offered yogurt parfaits, we broke a record again. Insane. Our scones have really elevated our catering menus. We had students ask, what's that triangle thing? Well, let's do some scones on the menu, let's do it. Our muffins, again, I have so many questions, because muffins I wouldn't expect this kind of an outcome. The first time we offered our new muffins, we broke an all-time breakfast record by about 30%. The next time we offered it, we were still 30 to 40% above any other offering of muffins. Again, I have so many questions on muffins. Our hummus, our elementary students are taking out hummus like it's a job. I mean, we put out 4 pounds every day, and we have to replenish before the next week is coming through. That is incredible. And our nacho cheese has gotten tons of support from students, so we're very excited. So we are offering supper here at the junior senior high school. We've had an amazing opportunity to work with the ACE program. We've been tremendously helpful in not only improving our counts for supper, but also in drawing people into their programs. We have tremendous amounts of feedback, insight. Hey Ed, the kids really enjoy X, they don't like this. That also carries through on lunch programs, which is fantastic. And because of our reaching out with the ACE program and the ASB, we have enormous opportunities for feedback and focus groups, all of which empower students to say something about what they want and when they want. So our ACE program, we would go to them with questions, very open-ended, broad questions. Why is chocolate better than blueberry? We'll have a thorough conversation. And we found out chocolate is great, sure. The issue with blueberries is when we're biting into the blueberries, they're exploding in our mouth, and that's a weird texture we don't like that. I got a solution for it. I'll smash the blueberries, and we'll see what happens. So for our next offering of blueberry muffins, we're going to put those first. We're going to say, try them, they're new. We think we solved this problem. It's legit. At the CDS site, we have working with the ASB program, and they are very data-driven, which is super helpful. Because if you ask 100 students what they want, you get 110 answers. That's perfect. I love that. But the data-driven responses are enabling us to tighten up on what we need to focus on. And that has been tremendously helpful. So shout out to Mr. Pryor and Mr. Smith, who were guiding that group through this process. It's been really helpful in helping us improve our service. One of the things that's done from our feedback is every single student survey at the elementary school wants chocolate milk at least once a week.
Kids have got elected on that platform as well.
Yes, he did. So we met with the ASB group. We explained, hey, there's a reason we don't do chocolate milk. We want you to learn it and taste it. So we told them a story about a product that we're going to make. It is a candy-flavored raisin that is sold to school food programs. The idea being, kids will eat more raisins if it tastes like candy. I'm like, that's great. But does that what raisins taste like? Yeah. Kids got it right away. Fantastic. That said, our ASB president did run on a platform of bringing back chocolate milk. I feel like we should give them a win. So on picnic day, we are going to be offering chocolate milk as an additional choice. So chocolate milk will not be replacing the choice of unflavored milk. It will be, according to us, cold hot chocolate. And that will be an additional choice if students want it, so that there is no mistaking the fact that we are offering milk over here, cold hot chocolate over there. Have a great day. So we're doing a lot of community outreach. We are expanding our scope of email with parents and what's going on with our district. We're doing things with public phone calls. We're having some fantastic conversations with community groups, all of which enable us to do much more than we have in the past. Our participation has increased because of morning announcements that feature like the worst jokes I've ever heard. So we talk about things like we'll stop at Muffin to serve you the best muffins for breakfast. That's terrible, just absolutely awful puns. But participation is going up. Students are not coming in asking us what's for lunch today. There's an earlier lineup, so students have more time to eat. Our staff have more time to serve, and that's fantastic. It's really been tremendously successful. So next year we're going to increase the scope of our automated phone calls. So really every question the parents ask, we're going to try to find a niche and target that group. So we can reach out and effectively answer questions before it becomes stressful. And last but not least, we want to remind everybody that we are offering school meals throughout the summer at CES. We're offering breakfast from 7:30 to 8:30. We're offering lunch from 12:30 to 1:30. Swing on by, any child, age 1 through 18, can join us. So we really are counting on you to put the word out there. If you know anyone wants to put children from the 118, please encourage them to come on by. We would love to have them. And last but not least, it has been an honor and privilege to serve your children. I'd open the floor to any questions, concerns, or comments.
I had the opportunity to go to the CES cafeteria at least once a week, and I have to say that the food is yummy. It's really nice. It's really good. The ladies at the cafeteria are wonderful. Really, thank you for all the work that you do. And now I'm going back to the LCAP survey. Tying the back is where they, students and both schools mention better food at the cafeteria. So I think I know why is that, because many times our children are used to go to Kalmar. I love Bill, and I love Kalmar, but I know that sometimes, the food that they get there is not really necessarily on the nutrition side. So I guess that's why students go there. So my question for you is, there is a strategy to help our students or educate our parents and educate our students on better and healthy ways of eating, and if you are exploring the
Absolutely. So we reached out to USDA Team Nutrition, which is a premier source of nutrition education materials, flyers, handouts, things that we can put on our website, things we can put in publications. So what we do is we are modeling, I'm starting at the top, so USDA Team Nutrition, we have books on trying new foods, which especially at younger age is a little more difficult. What is this? I'm not sure. I think in large part education is what we do best. Education is what food services is what we take the lead on. In providing education about what food is, what is sodium, what is fat, why does it help us become better prepared. The average high school student is not going to be concerned about what it feels like to be in their 40s, so we'll make it a little more immediate. Do you want shiny hair? Do you want those nice muscles? Do you want to perform well in the game? Here's how school lunch can help you. Here is a shortcut menu or a secret menu, if you will, on how to get maximum amount of protein through your big game. Here's how we can reduce the sodium so that you're not feeling so sluggish. Here's how we can reduce the amount of sugar that we're having in the right kinds of ways so that we feel prepared and engaged on our day. A big part of what we do is introducing new foods continuously. So the hummus, for example, we would sit down at the table, we would say, watch me eat this hummus. If you want some hummus, it's really delicious, it's beautiful. And we entice students to try new things, it catches on, and then it's on its way. So I think that part of the concerns that we're having with that is students will say, this is not the tortilla that I want. And we'll say, okay, there is a range of tortillas that we can choose from that would be better prepared to suit your needs. For example, we currently buy tortillas that are prepared by a company in Fresno. That's whole grain tortilla. That is not to say that that's representative of all whole grain tortillas. We need to find somebody who will find a tortilla that is slightly less wheaty. And so we'll have conversations with vendors. We'll say, hey, look, we're really having a hard time. Consistently, we're hearing, can you get the not whole grain tortillas? Can you find me a tortilla that is whole grain, but maybe a white whole wheat grain? So we become better educated on what our expectations are. We can walk our vendors through some of the processes. For example, our muffins, students believe that we had somehow abandoned our commitment to whole grains because we used the white whole wheat pastry flour. We didn't know it was available until about 6 months ago. When someone finally said, yes, I have white whole wheat pastry flour in the protein range anymore. So our first step is education, which is going to be long. It's going to be a very arduous process. It's going to take years to get to the point where we are in a good place. More immediately, it's our product placement. It's our product choices. And that's going to help us gain acceptance, and then we'll have an education. Did you notice that whole grains thing? You like whole grains. We love whole grains. And we'll have a conversation about it. The last thing that we have found in conversations with students at both school sites is when they feel that they're not being explained, there's not an explanation. we are this nebulous figure that is deciding what they're having for lunch. There is no, I want to say, credibility. So when a strange man shows up at your table, it's the cafeteria man. They don't know anything about the cafeteria man. We explain to them, like, hey, this is what we're bringing, this is what we're doing. And if students don't know who we are, or don't know that we want them to have a great lunch, there's going to be a reluctance to believe us. And they're going to believe it's because we don't know how to make good food, or something a little more close to home. So I think that part of it is building credibility and having these conversations. So when ASB goes out and says, hey, that's going to offer chocolate milk one day, and this is why, there's an understanding. You heard there was a response, and you are back. I think that's some of the responses that are going to as well.
I had a question. I don't know how I got vegetarians in my home, but I have 3. And what are we doing to inform these kids of the vegetarian options, that their nutritional needs are being met? I understand last meal was a cheese pizza. How do we ensure that they are not only informed, but have all their nutritional needs met? Would that be?
That's a fantastic question. So we are adding in a list of what's available, because one of the things we got back was we want more choices. We were offering choices, but again, not telling people about it is in effect not offering. So on our high school menus in particular, we'll list out all the entrees that we offer. Your question about meeting the needs of students with vegetarian or vegan lifestyles is a valid. We want to reassure people that it is okay not to eat meat. We encourage folks to have a vegetarian option. What we're going to be doing is publishing some information from USDA, Team Nutrition, that promotes the plant-based lifestyle. Science has been really helpful in pointing out that being a flexitarian, which is to say sometimes you eat, some days you don't, is fantastic. You may also notice that once a week we offer vegetarian entrees. It's not necessarily Mondays for Meatless Mondays, but we take that idea apart. We want a vegetarian option provided where we are pointing this out that it is okay not to eat meat every single day. That said, I feel like we could be doing a lot more to communicate the back end of that information, the nutritional information that's available, how does it meet needs, is a fantastic question. And I think the question indicates that we should be doing more to inform parents and staff and students what is available, how to meet your needs, and how that can be done. That said, I would draw your attention to those beautiful posters right behind us. Every meal that we provide hits upon those 5 groups. So you may have a vegetarian option, however, you will have an equivalent amount of meat alternates or proteins. You will have an equivalent amount of grains. You have very similar meal choices. And so that is designed by USDA. And we could definitely be doing more to communicate this out, to reassure and encourage folks that this is a viable option.
Thank you. So what about the red hot Cheetos?
So hot Cheetos and Takis, if you're not familiar, it comes up in every conversation, right after chocolate milk. So chocolate milk, check mark, hot Cheetos and Takis. No, actually, we had a conversation with some very engaged 5th graders, and we had a conversation. What if we made our own hot Cheetos and Takis? Table just right. So now I have to make hot Cheetos and Takis somehow as a classroom project. And then we'll discuss, how can we lower the sodium, how can we lower the fat? Is there an opportunity? Or is it just beyond mere mortals? And we'll find out today.
All right, great. Thanks, Ed.
So, thank you.
Any other questions? You know I have. All right. Second interim, 12.3, second interim acceptance letter.
Thank you.
Superintendent. We're done.
Every reporting period, the county office reviews our financials, and they always, they're required to send a response of what they think and what their review outcome is. So that is what you have in front of you, and that was for the second interim that was presented about 2 months ago.
Any questions? Any other there's any surprises that we should have. Thank you, Jenna. Welcome back. 12.5, or excuse me, 12.4, CES Principals Report. Nicole?
So, good evening, everyone. We are in May, which means there's lots of activities happening. First of all, last Friday, we had our jogathon. We had a longer trail. I want to give a shout out for Michelle Hickman and Brian Finnan, who stayed the entire experience with our students. We ended up we suspended testing for that day. So last year we had a lot more classes running in the afternoon. This year we were able to end by 1:30. We also had a contest where students designed the theme for the jogathon. And Dylan Finnan was our winner in that area, and that was voted on by 3rd through 6th grade classes. And so I think fun was had by all on the jogathon. The other thing that we are working through this week is finishing up our CAST testing, which all 3rd through 6th graders take. And the students have really appreciated the snacks this year. I don't know what Ed is putting in those baskets, but if we forget the snacks, we hear about it. So, and the ladies did a really good job of just organizing day by day how many snacks we were sending out. The other test that we did administer last month that we're sending almost our last shipment, we have a couple kiddos who came back after being out, is our English Learner Proficiency Assessment Test for California, or LPAC. And we're going to send in district-wide quite a few tests tomorrow. I believe that the junior senior high ended up testing about 60 students. We tested 300 students. And so for a first run, we learned a lot, and we learned some areas that have some improvements, so it's not coming so close to CAST testing. That makes me nervous. We also, last week, had our end of the year celebration for our ELAC committee, and we had a nice potluck, and we actually had some people coming to ELAC for the first time go, wow, I want to go to this. I said, well, great. We hope to see you on the first Wednesday of every month. We had raffles for people who had been going to the meeting. We basically took the agendas and cut them up and did a drawing to give away prizes. Then this week, we do have our open house on Thursday from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And it's pretty much a big spectacular of lots of families coming to celebrate the work of their children. And we also have our incoming kindergarten families who come and check out the classrooms as well. After that, we are going to be doing a presentation for prospective music students. 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock to introduce the students to the instruments that they can play over at CES. And that's the first time that we've done that. We also, on May 22nd, are pleased to welcome Patricia Polacco, who is a very famous author. She wrote the Giving Quilt, and also thank you, Mr. Faulkner, and thank you to our PTA who supported her to come up here, and also Patty Lassen, who was able to track her down and figure out that she could be available. So that's going to be on the 22nd. There's going to be 3 assemblies and also a lunch for staff to be able to get to know her. So we're really excited about that. And then finally, next week, we are going to be having our final concerts for K through 3 and 4 through 6, and it's on Tuesday and Thursday. Thank you.
Any word when is the kindergarten playground going to be ready? I saw that workers are going here.
Well, the last date I was given was the end of April. I think I see day by day progress being made, but there is some asphalt work that does need to happen. I have sat in on a couple of meetings where we've double measured to make sure that we're not having students run into asphalt coming off the sides, and we're all good on that. But really, at this point, I'm probably looking at not opening up that playground until next year. It really depends on if it finishes or not. And then every day, I don't know if you notice, they have to basically take out a section of fence and reinstall it each day.
Thank you, Nicole. Calistoga Junior Senior High School Principal's Report. Mr. Wyckoff.
Well, thank you very much. I just want to say that I'm very, very proud of the staff at Calistoga Junior Senior High School. Just like I'm sure that Nicole is too at her site, but our staff works really, really hard, puts a lot of time and effort outside of school to make some amazing learning experiences. In the board report, I talk about the STEM day that they had over in Sonoma County, and you saw the results. Our two high school science teachers were extremely pleased because our kids compete in athletic things a lot, but to compete in something academic was new to them, and they did a fantastic job. They competed against some of the top schools in Sonoma County and actually beat out quite a few schools. And they were judged by engineers and people in the field, and we were really proud of the results from that. So that was Ms. Warner and Ms. Brooks. Mr. Lowell took a group of kids to Sonoma State University. One of the things that we're going to be asking for from the district next year is to be able to expand our college trips, because currently now we just only allow our avid kids to go, which means there's a certain percentage of kids that aren't going on the college trips. So we would like to try to seek some funding for making that happen for all kids. They are. So we're going to look, good idea, we'll look for that area too. I know that some of our teachers, it is. Yeah. Thank you.
I had a quick, how are you planning on opening that up for other kids? Is it money?
Right. We're looking to find different sources of money to make sure we do that. Currently now, with our AVID students, we use a grant to pay for those trips. And same thing with the kids who went to the STEAM Symposium. We use our CTEC grant monies from the state of California for that. So those monies don't come out of our district funds, they come out of the
Do we have an
district.
estimation yet of desired funds?
We could look into that. I think, I can't pull it up right off the top of my head, but I can pull it out.
I think that's very important to get these kids colleges like broaden their horizons and make them feel the various campuses.
Right.
It's help my kids on their choice.
Definitely. Mr. Bird did take a small group over to the junior college to explore the CTE certificate pathways, which was great for some of the kids who thought, I'm not going to college, but when they got over there, well, there's machinist jobs, right, that pay really well up at what used to be Hewlett-Packard, but now it's called Keysight, to program machines and work with machines. And there's a whole certificate program you go through. It's a year and a half of the junior college, and then you're done. Phlebotomy, take drawing blood, there's all kinds of different things for kids to get that specialized training to the jobs that pay really well. So we're trying to engage all students earlier too. And so as you see, we're sending kids to Sonoma State, 7th grade, have to start thinking. We escorted some students to prom, and I will leave that up to our student to talk about that. It was a fun evening, right? It was fun. And then we had college signing day. Thank you for those who showed up for the college signing day. It was a big celebration. We were interviewing that day, so we couldn't stay too long, Ms. Baldonegro and I, but what we saw was fantastic. Mr. Wood did a great job with that. And AP testing is taking place now. Ms. Heck is our AP coordinator. We're excited because I feel like the kids are prepared more than they have been in the past. And we were able to extend the date. Normally it's the first 2 weeks in May, but because of the fires, we were able to ask for an extension. And so our kids are taking near the end of the month for quite a few exams. It gives them a couple extra weeks to prepare. Tomorrow night, the Wildcat Scholar Night. Big night. We have quite a few kids who are being honored. And just to let you know that we have a very small senior class of 47 students, and out of those 47 students, they had 110 college acceptance letters, which is tremendous. So kudos to our senior class. And then Ms. Agapoff and a group of volunteers are taking students on the senior trip in 3 different parks, right?
Yeah.
3 different parks. And so that's exciting. And then, of course, we have 8th grade promotion coming up, which is Thursday before the last day of school, and graduation at the fairgrounds. And the 8th graders are planning on taking like a field day this year, possibly to the Boys and Girls Club and to the pool,
Oh, cool.
which will be keep it local.
Oh, good.
So that'll be kind of fun. Any questions?
All right,
Thank you. We really appreciate all your support.
all right, thanks, Rick. So Lily, that comes to you, student representative report.
For the ASB class and also some seniors went to the Harvest Marathon, which was on Sunday, April 22nd from 6 a.m. to 1:30. Seniors got community service for doing that, and also we're getting demerits taken off, so that was a great help for some seniors to be able to go to prom and also a senior trip. Prom was the 28th at Hidden Brook Golf Course. It was so beautiful there, and we had a photo booth, we had a DJ from a radio station. The food was amazing, and everyone can agree that the food was amazing. It was pretty good. And also we had an open bar with it, so we were able to get like some sodas, and everyone was able to take beautiful photos.
What?
It was a part of the golf course. It was beautiful. It was really nice. Also, the seniors are getting ready for their trip, which is next week, actually, May 18th. Yeah. And we're going to Knott's Berry Farm, Universal Studios, and California Adventures. So we are getting excited for that. And also for spring sports, there are many like successful wins with the sports. Softball is undefeated, I heard. And they are going to have a game tomorrow along with baseball up in Laytonville, yeah, they're leaving at 7:30. Yeah, sure. They have that, and then also swim season just ended last week. Last week, and we ended up going to Champions over in St. Helena, which was all day and all Friday events, which was really good. We had 3 people who made it to finals, and I was also part of the finals for a different stroke, which was really great. And also tomorrow is scholarship night for a lot of seniors, so it's going to be very eventful with all the avid seniors are getting their sashes that they're able to wear for graduation. And yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, we also have a prom rally for prom.
So I understand the baseball team has a shot at the playoffs and you get 2 wins, is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, they need to win tomorrow's game and also Thursday to go to playoffs.
Wow.
We have some pretty good players this season.
And that was a good picture of you seniors in the paper for the prom.
Yeah, it took like 20 minutes. Everyone was in the grass and
Yeah.
so many people.
But the results were good.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. It was a great night. Went out morning. Took us flying. It was a cute little date night.
I had asked for 4 times.
So did a lot of other seniors. So it was really fun. Oh, also, some of the seniors heard that we're wearing all green for graduation. There's no white. Yay. Because a lot of people, well, like some of the seniors were confused because we checked white, or the girls checked white when ordering them.
There was a mistake on the order provided to us.
All right. That's above our pay grade. Okay. Well, thank you. We appreciate all your help.
I just want to say thank you to all the students and all the people who worked really, really hard to make this happen for you. I know that I noticed that those Saturday garage sales and, that's a lot of work. And I have to say praises to the, parents and the students and the coordinators, Didi, and all the people that volunteer for on these efforts. And thank you for all your work and congratulations.
is kudos to Dean and the rest of the team too, because the prices are really so much more expensive than all these different things. The students involved in
Thank you, guys. Moving on, 12.7, Superintendent's Report.
As you know, the biggest influence on student achievement is high-quality instruction, so we've been working really hard this year to find exceptional teachers to fill our vacancies for next school year. Scott Mahoney of Mahoney Consulting has been doing a wonderful job of assisting with the hiring process. We posted our positions early this year, attended the Sonoma State Job Fair, and as a result of our efforts, we've had nearly 200 applications submitted so far for the 7 positions that we currently have posted. The district has conducted an extensive screening process for the candidates, organized interview committees, which has included teachers this year, and did numerous reference checks on all of the candidates. I've also been conducting final interviews myself to ensure that we're hiring outstanding teachers for our kids. We're still in the process of completing the interviewing for 2 more positions, so I will be asking the board to hold a special meeting in the near future to consider approval of those final candidates. And included in routine contracts under the consent agenda is a contract with Aries for their new communication service. Aries Communication is an extension of our existing Aries contract, and it will be replacing Blackboard, which we've been using for our all-call system and to communicate with parents. This means that the student data and contact information that's currently in Aries will automatically import into the database, which is a huge advantage. And in addition to the all-call feature, there are several other functional features which I think parents will find very beneficial. One of the best, in my opinion, is the translation feature, which will translate messages into whatever home language the parent has identified in our system. And then the great part is it will then translate back into English. So if a teacher sends a message in English to a Spanish-speaking parent, it will be translated to Spanish, and then when the parent answers the teacher, it will be translated back into English. So I think that will be helpful to both teachers and parents. The other feature that I'm excited about is there's notification by 3 means: text, email, and phone. So again, our LCAP survey told us, our parents in particular, and also our teachers, that we needed to improve our communication, and we're particularly interested in having text messages. So next year, we're hoping that our LCAP survey can be texted to parents too, so making it more convenient for them to actually participate in the survey. So the system appears to be user-friendly on both ends. I'm excited about it. Our staff will be trained in June, and we'll roll it out for the next school year. And then I had the pleasure of attending the art opening at Yo El Rey on Friday, and could not have been more impressed with the incredible talent of our student artists. I was also amazed at the support from our community. I was there probably for a half an hour, and it was standing room only. There were so many parents and community members and students who came to see the work, which was beautifully displayed. And our teacher and students are actually the people that put all that work up. And you can see it for the next month. We haven't seen it already. It's hard to believe that there's only 4 more weeks of school remaining. That time is always extremely busy. As Nicole already mentioned, May is a crazy time as the year draws to a close. I'm really looking forward to learning about the new traditions in Calistoga at the end of the year, because they are different from district to district. And the last thing I want to let you know is the district finished negotiations with the Calistoga Association of Teachers last week, and CAT ratified the tentative agreement Friday evening. Unfortunately, I received word after the agenda was already posted for today's meeting, so I'll be asking the board to hold a special meeting in the very near future so that you can consider approval of the tentative agreement. Thank you.
Questions? All right. Thank you. And it's almost been a year for you. Almost. All right, item 13, consent calendar requires a roll call vote. Actions proposed for the consent agenda are being routine in nature and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless any member of the board, the audience, or staff requests specific items be removed from the consent agenda for separate action.
I would like the co-curricular stipend position of the varsity basketball coach.
So, So you're requesting that the personnel register one item on the personnel register be removed?
Correct.
Can we-
Actually, you'll need to have an action to remove the personnel register, and then you'll vote on the personal register separately, and that's when you can request to remove something out of it.
Okay, all right. So I'm looking for a motion to,
I move that we vote on the consent calendar with item 13.3.
all in favor? All right, so, since that item's removed, can we go on with a roll call vote to accept the consent agenda
Yes.
as proposed?
Yes.
All right, so looking for a motion for the consent agenda as proposed with that item. Okay, this is a roll call vote. Clerk Nicholson? Trustee Lopez? Trustee Reed? Trustee Galindo?
Aye.
Student rep? Okay, and President Maxfield, aye. So, with that action item moved, do we just put it to the end? Or should we do it? Because we're going to make the personnel register an action item. correct?
You are, yeah. So you can make it 14.3.
Okay. 14.3 is personnel register. Okay. All right, 14.0 action items. Protocol for action items includes a staff presentation, questions from the board, public input, deliberation by the board, and voting by the board. During public input, there will be a 3-minute time limit per person. 14.1, teacher on special assignment. Do you say TOSA?
TOSA, yes.
Do you say TOSA? I was just guessing.
Another acronym.
Okay. Aaron?
This is a position that I'm recommending to provide reading intervention next year for our students. Again, Nicole's already mentioned this year. As a direct result, this recommendation of input that we received from both our students, our staff, and our parents in our LCAP surveys.
Okay. And the recommendation is to approve the additions of the TOSA. I'm looking for a motion. Direct. All in favor? Aye. 14.2, now, independent contract services agreement with Mahoney?
I'm actually going to ask that you remove that from the agenda for tonight. I'll be bringing it back in a different format.
Okay, so I am looking for a motion to remove that contract. Second, all in favor? Aye. All right. Okay, now we'll go to 14.3, the personnel register. So we had a motion to remove that item for separate action.
Yes, and the reason why is in the coach's position. The verbiage is clear, and I feel like this applicant doesn't qualify.
So are you asking, what are you asking? Are you asking to not approve the
So you
coaches?
Well, no, absolutely not. I feel that the majority of the applicants here should be approved, but of course, there's one that does not qualify. And so I'm unaware of the protocol at this point, because
okay, but you're just talking about
job description,
yeah, but you're talking about the coach's position, so that the co-curricular stipend positions.
I just think that it needs to be reflected a little bit more in the proper light, because, but the majority of them qualify.
But so everything else out there you don't have an issue with?
I do not.
So I need to clarify again. So you're asking to remove the coaches from the consent item for the personnel register? Just one coach or all the coaches? One coach.
Okay. And that coach would be?
He would need to make a motion.
Varsity boys basketball.
So you need to make a motion.
I would like to motion that we remove the boys varsity basketball from the co-curricular stipend, 13.3.
14.3. Okay. So there's a motion on the table.
if the motion dies, you can make another motion.
Yes, so there's a motion on the table. So if we don't get a second,
But if we do get a second and that motion passes, then what happens to that position?
Then that particular person's not approved.
And as I refer you further, particularly that you further.
Yes, it can be brought back later.
looking for a second. Hearing none? Motion fails? Motion fails? So now, need a motion to approve current personnel register as
Correct.
presented. Matt, second? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Oh, aye. All in favor? All right, okay. Moving on. We gotta be a little nimble on all that. Okay, item 15, board calendar. Monday, June 11th, regular board meeting, and Monday, June 18th, regular board meeting. But we haven't figured out, we say we're gonna need to have some others, but we gotta figure out time and place.
Exactly. We're going to need a special meeting to approve, the tentative agreement for that, and then also our last minute hires.
Right, so it's
We
kind
don't
of,
want to wait until the June meeting. It's too late. We might lose outstanding candidates.
sure, so, okay, makes sense. So it's a timer.
It is.
Item 16, upcoming events and activities. Tuesday, May 8th, tomorrow night, Scholars Night. I will be there, ready to go. Actually, Scott Cooper will present for the board. Thursday, May 10th, the CES Open House. May 14th, spring concert at the high school. May is busy. 15th is the K-3 spring concert. 17th, 4 to 6. CES Grades 4 to 6 spring concert. May 14th to 18th, California, California General High School Staff Appreciation Week. Okay, cool. 23rd to 26th, Marine Headlands that's 5th graders, right? Yeah, graders. 6th grade promotion, the 30th, 31st, 8th grade, and Friday, June 1st, high school graduations. Congratulations. All right. Yeah.
Usually, the day when we decide who of the board members are going to be presented, presenting the board on different promotions and different information.
I did not know that. We can add that to our special meeting agenda.
Oh, okay. Is that an
I don't think it's an agenda. We visit, we've never attended.
Oh, you have it? You just...
No, we just kind of,
Okay.
yeah, it was kind of like a thing because I got a senior graduating on it.
I'm fine with that. It's for that.
Yeah, okay, so maybe we'll just, that's among us. Cool. All right. 17.0, tentative future agenda items, LCAP public hearing, budget, CIF ratification, and board self-evaluations. Great. Okay. No need to reconvene to closed session. Okay, item 20, all in favor? Aye. All right, thank you, everybody.